So this presentation here, slave to nigger. Right? And if you look at the words here, it's two and two. What's the difference? Someone tell me. What's the difference here between two T-O and two T-O-O? What's the difference? Yes, what you got?
One represents from one place to another.
Mhm.
One represents that also.
So slaves in America. So when we talk about slaves in America, at first I'm going to talk about North America. Right? Slaves in America. 1617, first recorded African slaves are in Bermuda. That's an island. Island off of Florida. First African slaves recorded. We know exactly how many slaves they were and they were not. We know that because they were property. And when something is property, you keep records. There are records of your property because that's worth something to you, isn't it? If you own a business, you got your property, it's worth something. What do we have here?
Slave ship.
Slave ship, right? Packed in there. Now the recorded numbers that coming to North America, there were approximately 12 million slaves left Africa to come to North America. It's only recorded that 10 million made it into America, into North America. Only 10 million. So that means 2 million, there's a trail of slaves, bones, dead from Africa to the United States. All right? It's a death trail there. 2 million did not make it. And that's what we know. Now, when you look at North America having slaves, South America, Latin America had them 100 years before. We learned to have slaves because why? For commerce, for business. They needed someone for the tobacco fields, for the cotton fields. It's like, look at, they have slaves there. Maybe we need to start doing what they're doing. So that's how that came to be. Packed in a ship like this. Look at this. Right? We need to understand that. It's just property, it's just cattle. Right? We're born now, all right? 200 years ago, could have been me. Could have been you. Some of you sitting in here. But I'm going to tell you this. It was better to be a slave than a nigger. You'd rather be a slave. That sounds kind of crazy right now, doesn't it, to some? Because as a slave, you are property. And when you have property, especially if it's valuable, if it's valuable, right? You take care of your property, don't you? You take care of it because, especially if it's property that's allowing you to earn. You take care of your property. So let's look at the cost of a slave. Any age, sex, condition. In 1850, $400. In 2015, worth $11,300 to buy another human being. In 1860, 10 years later, the price doubled. Prime field hand, 18 to 30-year-old male, is worth even more. You know why? Because they can make more money for the slave owner, right? They're worth more. Skilled labor, worth even more. If this person costs this much, if this individual, you're going to take care of them, right? Because obviously they're able to make you money. So let's look at that word again, slave. Slave, property. Just talking about words, right? Property. That's what a slave is. But its value, has a value. So let's look at the difference here. A pack horse, Oregon Trail, 1850, $25. A riding horse, $75. So a slave was valuable, more than a horse. Now there's a reason. When you have a slave, you have to keep them what? Docile. We know what docile means?
No.
All right? Docile. That means that you just obey and you're obedient. You don't cause any problems. You have to dominate you. You have to have fear. You have to fear me for me to dominate you. Because I can't have you rising up. So I have to dominate you. How do we do that? They had a publication to slave owners on how to produce the ideal slave. There was a publication written. This is what you do. This is how you break the soul of this human being. Maintain strict discipline and unconditional submission. Create a sense of personal inferiority so slaves know their place. You are less of a human than I am. You are inferior to me. Fear. Instill fear in the minds of a slave. Teach the servants to take interest in the master's enterprise. You should feel good about making me money by allowing you, when you make the best crops, that's good for me, and you take interest in that. And this last one, ensure that the slave was uneducated, helpless, and dependent by depriving them of access to education and recreation. Depriving access. And what happens? And what does all of this do? It maintains dominance. Isn't it funny right now? Something that was planned to do to individuals, to black slaves, now we do it to our goddamn selves. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do this. I'll be helpless. I'll be dependent on someone else. I'll be dependent on the system. I'll be dependent on this. I'm uneducated. That was part of the plan then, to do that. It was in the booklet. It was illegal to teach a slave how to read. Illegal, against the law. So let's go from words. From slave, we have Negro. Right? We're just talking about words here, right? Negro, where's that word? Negro, a black person. In English, it's simply the color black in Spanish and Portuguese. That's all it is, right? Negro, right? Doesn't seem like anything really bad or anything. If any of you have some like grandparents or something, you may still hear them say the word once in a while, right? Negro, right? It was Negro, okay. It's no big deal. See, we have some more of our little signs there, right? Negroes. So we had slaves, we had Negroes. They sold Negroes, blacks. These are the auctions. 17 valuable young Negroes, men and women, field hands, to be sold on board the ship. 440. Sale, auction. Where's this come from? Where's this transition? Got slaves, Negro, now we got a nigger. There's nothing wrong with this, but remember what I told you before. I'd rather be a slave than a nigger. We're going to see why. So let's see where this word came from. Overseers. The middleman of the antebellum South plantation hierarchy. The overseer was that white individual, that ignorant man, not educated, that was charged with making sure that the slaves did what they're supposed to do. This was the individual that had the whip. Matter of fact, you ever hear the phrase a cracker? Mm-hmm. This is where that comes from. A cracker is what they call the overseer because they had the whip and the crack was the sound of the whip. That crack. So if you were that individual that beats a slave, that crack of the whip, they call you a cracker. That's where that word comes from, not because of a saltine cracker. It's from the crack of a whip. So this is an overseer. These are ignorant men. These aren't intelligent men. They're brutal men. All right? So let's look at the word. Where does this word nigger come from? All right? So we say the Latin word, okay? Niger, meaning black. In 1619, the first African captives in America were described as nigars. Why? What happened? You have these ignorant men coming and they're hearing these guys saying this and they don't say it right, so it's nigars, right? So it's just individuals that don't know how to pronounce the word. And then it won't go away and it's just changed. And then something amazing happened. Slavery ended. That's good, right? We happy about that? Because now you're not a slave, right? Emancipation Proclamation, we heard of that. Slavery wasn't there really end until December 65. It's less than Texas. Okay, in Texas, they took a little more time because Texas always thought they were their own country. Anyway, they're going to do what they want. They had to send troops in there for Texas to do what they're supposed to do. So now slavery's over, right? That's a good thing, isn't it? Right? Remember what I told you a little while ago? What did I say? I'd rather be a slave. Because guess what? I'm worth, I have a worth, right? You see, because what happens? A slave, you're a slave, you're not a human being. You're just property. Slavery's over, that's great. Okay, now I'm a human being again. So let's talk about this word here, respect, for a second. We've got to talk about respect. Do you think there was respect for a slave?
No.
Nah. How about is there respect for a nigger?
No.
Well, let's look at that too, all right? What I want you to observe are the people around this lynching. Now, I know some of you, this is a little tough to look at. Look at it. Because this is what happens to niggas. Niggas aren't worth anything. All right? I'm not messing up anyone's property now.